Hello, everyone, and welcome back. FPL show game week number 8, I think it is. We'll confirm. Yes, game week number 8. So, guys, today's video is gonna be a little bit different in the sense that I want to show you guys some additional stuff. I also wanted to speak about the changes to the Gunning to Old Trafford and Anfield Way FPL weekly challenge. We've made some changes, and I thought I'd just discuss that. We have recorded a lot of the, I'd say, forfeits or punishment videos already. We will start posting them soon. Ibby's been traveling a little bit, so it's just made it a little bit difficult for us to record them all, but we will be putting them out as soon as possible. So let's get into it, guys. So for those of you that want to know about the latest team sheet updates or team news or any of the information that come out of the press conferences, you can usually find them on YouTube, but then you have to watch all of them. Or if you come onto the Premier League website, the same site that you use for Fantasy Premier League, and I think on the app as well, it's got the same thing. There's a little section called the live blog. And if you go to the top part of that section, you can actually change the game week, right? So now we are in match week 8, right? Obviously, you'll see this little live update feature. And as the press conferences happen and as there's information that gets released, it comes out here. So if we scroll down to as far as it's going to let us, I think the first press conference, yeah, here we go. So what it does is it gives you all the information about that game week in one place. So you can make better decisions around your team, right? If we look at it here, you'll see there's little tweets that come up and what have you, right? This is, guys, if you haven't voted, go and vote. Pick your best save, pick your best goal, and the player of the month is out as well, right? First press conference was Newcastle. So yeah, you'll see it will say Newcastle head coach Eddie Howe and exactly what he spoke about. He'll tell you about the injuries, and you'll see here he talks about Callum Wilson, Joe Linton, Harvey Barnes, long-term injuries. Sven Botman won't make it, and we have we've got a lot of injuries in the same area of the pitch in attacking positions. But we've shown that we've got players ready to come in and make a difference. With the injuries we have, we're going to have to be at our best to beat West Ham. So you've got Anthony Gordon's suspension, Sunday opponents, and then you can go through it, right? You can go all the way through it, and it has everything for every single club as and when the press conferences happen. And it's all in one place. So it just makes it a little bit easier for you. And you have a lot of good information in short snippets. So I thought I'd show you guys that. Let's get into game week 7 points, which was absolutely horrible for me. But it was horrible for me, but I lost by about 11 points to EB, right? I took a knock of, I think, 4 points. So I would have finished on 34 points, but I needed to make an additional transfer. Matip obviously got a -1 for the own goal against Spurs. And Doggy got 1, Walker 0. And I brought in Walker specifically because I thought he was going to score some points. And my luck, as it has been this whole season, is terrible. He scores a 0 in the first game week for me. Saka with a 9. I expected Saka not to play, and he ended up playing. Luis Diaz with a 2. Had the goal been given, that would have probably been an 8. Salah with no points again. Mount didn't help me out for my Man United player. And then João Pedro with 4. Alvarez with 8, again outscoring Haaland. I had him as captain, and he only scored me 4 points. I had Douglas Luiz with 8 on the bench. I couldn't play Douglas Luiz because I needed to have one United player, 1 Arsenal player, 3 Liverpool players. 1, 2, 3. And that kind of cost me. So hence why we are making some changes. It's a little bit tough when you have to have 3 of your team's players in the starting 11. We were toying with the idea of having 3 players in your whole team, and then you could bench certain players, but it also then restricts you quite a lot. So we've decided to go with a new structure, and the new structure is going to be 1 player from Liverpool, 1 player from Arsenal, 1 player from Man United for all of us, right? And to make it a little bit different is what we're going to do with the point system, right? So if we look at this game week, right, and we'll just focus here in the midfield area. So say this was my team, right? And these were my players. I'm just going to do Diaz, Saka, and Mount, just to keep it simple. So obviously I support Liverpool. So my Liverpool player scored me 2 points. Saka scored 9. Mount scored 1. Right? In this case here, what would happen is my Liverpool player finished second out of the 3 United players. So he would only score me an additional 2 points. So Diaz would get me 4. We'd obviously have to manually calculate this, but we'll do that and show you guys how we do that. Saka got 9, so I don't get anything there because he finished first, and Mount got finished third, so I don't get anything there. Now let's say this was Shady, Abdul. Saka came in first place, so he would have gotten 3 points for Saka, so 9 plus 3 is 12, right? And for EB had Mount. Mount came in last place, he would have only had 1 point. But remember, this is going to be different for every single one of our teams. So we need to look at our teams and see if my Liverpool player scored me the highest points, I get 3 bonus points, right? Then what we're going to do is we're going to look at my Liverpool player versus Ibi's Arsenal player versus Abdul's Arsenal player versus Ibi's United player. So say this was it, right? I would have gotten another 2 points for Diaz. Shady would have gotten another 3 points for Saka, and Ibi would have gotten 1 point for Mount because Mount finished last from all 3 of us. So it will make more sense next week when we show you guys the points and when we explain it a little bit more in detail. But just to recap quickly, in my team, these are my 3 players. So 1 United, 1 Arsenal, 1 Liverpool. Diaz came in second place in my team from those 3 players, so he would have gotten me an additional 2 points, right? And if this was our 3 players from our 3 teams, 3 separate teams, Diaz would have still been second, so he would have got me 2 points. In Shady's case, he would have probably gotten 3 points plus 3 points because he had Saka in his team, and Saka would have been the highest point scorer in his team. And from our three teams combined, it was also Saka with the highest score. It just puts a little bit of an extra spin on it, and it gives us a way to differentiate each other in the points table and from our teams. We thought initially that having 3 of your own players would be the differentiating factor, but it really limits your choices, especially when there are injuries in the team, right? So going forward, we only need 1 Liverpool player, 1 Arsenal, 1 Man United, which means in this case I need to get rid of 2 players. I'm not going to be able to do it in 1 game week, so it's going to be 2 game weeks. What I'm probably going to do is, in my case, I'm probably going to stick with Salah, right? I'm probably going to stick with Saka, and I'm probably going to stick with Mount from United. I need to do that because I also need to think about my points tally. Here I can finally now open up these 2 slots to bring in other players, and I'm going to use one of them today. Cool. So let's get into game week number 8 and what changes I'm planning on doing, right? So Botman's definitely injured. We just saw that, if you guys saw that on the live blog I showed you guys. He's probably not going to play, right? He's probably not going to play this weekend. Saka worries me because last week we thought Saka wasn't going to play. It says here that he's got a muscle injury and there's a 75% chance of him playing. I would probably risk it. What I'm most probably going to do is I am going to bring in Douglas Luiz, right, and leave Diaz on my bench. I think Diaz will start for Liverpool, but just in case, I think Douglas Luiz could get some points against Wolves. I'd rather have him here instead of Diaz. Liverpool playing Brighton. It's going to be a bit of a tougher game. Diaz might not score. Just depends. Salah might get points, so I'd rather start Salah. My transfer this week, and this is where I'm going to make my transfer, so I have to do this week, and I think I should have one. I'm going to get rid of Matip first. Now, that puts me on 5.1. I need to find a defender for 5.1, which is going to be not great. Let's go there. The options, I would have gone with, I don't want to go with Saliba. I could go with Saliba, but I would probably go with, and Porro I think is, Porro. Actually, that's it. I wanted to go with Porro, but I thought Porro would be more than 5.1. That gives me 0 points there. So I think that confirms my transfer. Confirm. And guys, I haven't got into the points in the league yet, but I will go through that quickly now just to show you guys. I've got Pedro Porro and Udogie, which is it's risky because it's two Spurs defenders, but potentially it could work in my favor as well. So I'm going to probably keep it because it's Luton. We might get 6 points there. Walker against Arsenal is probably it's not gonna be a 0-0 draw, and I don't see City keeping a clean sheet or Arsenal keeping a clean sheet, even if it is a draw. So I think at minimum it's gonna be a 1-1. If I hope Arsenal will, I really do, and for my man Abdul, so I hope Arsenal wins, but I doubt it's gonna be a clean sheet win. Right. I'm going to stick with Leno in goal, keep Walker, keep Porro, keep Udogie in. I'm going to go again with the 3 at the front, and I have to because I could go with the 3-5-2 and leave Diaz on. I'd rather not. I'd rather keep João Pedro on. I think João Pedro might get chances against Liverpool. Liverpool have been conceding goals, even though they do tend to beat teams and come back from behind. Maybe João Pedro gets in a goal or gets in some points or an assist or something, so I'll keep him on just in case. I'm not going to captain Haaland, purely because I think he's not gonna have a great game against Arsenal. I'm not gonna captain Alvarez. I am actually going to captain Salah for the first time this season. My vice captain is going to be Saka. I'll leave it with Saka. Saka tends to have good games against the bigger teams. Hopefully he plays. Actually, no. Let's do that rather. Just in case he doesn't play. If I make him vice captain and he doesn't play, he's not going to be able to get subbed off. Same with your captain. You guys didn't know that. Your captain can't be subbed off, even if he doesn't play. So just always remember that. Captain, vice captain cannot be subbed off. So if they don't play and you've chosen Salah and Saka as captain and vice captain, and Salah and Saka both don't play, they don't get subbed off. Just remember that, right? So cool if you guys didn't know that. Turner against Crystal Palace. Leno versus Sheffield United. I'm probably going to stick with Leno. And I think the rest of my team is okay for this week. Guys, some assets to think about and some players if you want to bring in is Son is one of them. Son seems to be in a lot of people's teams. Ollie Watkins as well. I unfortunately do not have the transfers or the wildcard to be able to bring them in or to make those sort of changes to my team without taking a hit to my points. So for now, I'll probably suffer for the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks because next week I need to take Diaz out. I'll stick with Salah, like I said, probably stick with Saka. Mount, we will see. We might go Casemiro, but Casemiro gets a lot of yellow cards, gets a lot of fouls. The other option could be to go with Højlund Rasmus Højlund as a striker and get rid of João Pedro and get rid of Mount and replace Mount with someone else. But it's going to take me a couple of game weeks to get there. So for now, I'm not too stressed. We'll see how it goes. Let's get into the league. We have to choose our winner. And did we have... he was. So I think, and guys, I will confirm this with the rest of the guys, but I know the post said at the end of game week 7. At the end of game week 7, if that is what we are sticking to, and I think we are probably going to stick to that, then our winner would be Ridwan Ali with 502 points. What we will do is, with the next challenge, we will obviously then look at points from, we wouldn't look at from 502. Everyone would basically reset to 0, and in that game week, so in those game weeks, so say the next giveaway or the next prize is in 8 weeks time, the person with the most points in those 8 weeks is going to be the winner of the next prize, not the person that's going to be at top. I think that makes it a little bit unfair. Sometimes you get someone that stays on the top for a long time and people just can't catch them because they're consistently scoring good points. You might have some people that perform well over 1 or 2 weeks and then struggle over 1 or 2 weeks. But that's how the challenges will work and how the prize giveaways will work. Is if we said the next prize giving is from game week 8 to game week 16, the person with the most points between game week 8 and game week 16 is going to be the winner of that giveaway. In this case, it was easy because it was 7 game weeks. First 7 game weeks, our winner would probably be Ridwan Ali. So if anything changes, we will make an announcement on Instagram and on the socials. But if everything stays the same, congrats Ridwan Ali. We won't. I'm not going to tell you what the prize is going to be, but you will find out soon. So let's go through it, right? I would definitely dropped. I dropped to 158th, which is bad. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I'm trying to see if I can find my other team, my original team. It is not here. Hope that hasn't dropped either. Okay, but in any case, while we are here, we're going to try and find Mr. Abdul and Mr. Ibi. Let's see if we can find them. They can't be that close to me in points. I don't think so. Pink Panthers. I missed them. Okay. Let's do it the... There we go. This is you might have been wondering what I did there, but I did a Control F on a website, and yes, you can. Old IT trick, and that worked. Let's see. Yes, so Ibi finished on 40 points. Had a decent game week with Odegaard scoring him 17. Imagine he had captained him. Darwin didn't play, so he got subbed off for Wissa. Wissa scored him 2 points. Reguilon for Aurier. Okay, that was good. And let's see if we can find... I think it's... Fanafuti. No, he's not on this page. Not on this page. Let's try Abdul. Wow. Okay, I didn't, guys, I didn't see this, right? So I didn't know he had jumped that many places. So Abdul up to number 13. Well done, buddy. Really, really, guys, Abdul had an amazing week, and he chose to use his bench boost because he couldn't get rid of. He needed to make a lot of changes to his Arsenal team. He wanted to get rid of Ramsdale and bring in Raya, but instead, he just used the bench boost. So it worked for him because he ended up scoring 98 points. Watkins with 23, Diaby with 8, Kesh with 6, Morris with 10. And this was a last minute change for him. I know I spoke to him about this. We spoke about it on Sunday. He brought in Morris at the last minute, literally 5 minutes before the deadline. Stuck with Custard Slice, Soboslai, aka Custard Slice. If you know, you know. Estupinan on -2. I think everyone's moved off of Estupinan. He needs to probably get rid of him. He's got a long-term injury as well. Trippier on 24. Ruben on -1. Saliba on 6. Pope on 6. Good performance. Really, really, really good performance. Well done, Abdul. Up to 13th. Really proud of you guys. Guys, I think that covers game week 8. And then let's just go into my team and make sure everything's saved. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. So again, Luis Diaz off there, Botman on there, Salah is captain, Douglas Luiz is vice captain, Leno, Pedro Porro, Doggy, João Alvarez. Save my team. That's my team saved. So I'm hoping we get a good week. It's probably not going to be a great week for me until I sort my team out the way I need it to be sorted out. And we take it from there. We see how things move forward. Guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope all your arrows are green instead of red like mine's. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Mohammed FARIEDs here out. Please don't forget to subscribe to Gunning to Old Trafford, Enfield Way ZA. All the links down below. And please comment, share with your friends, tell us what you think, and goodbye.